Yeah, thank you too, Scott. I think you can maybe see me now, and I think we'll go directly to the Ask the Speakers session. So please, Heather, Floyd, who had the previous session on deployment, and then Matthew Wise, who will facilitate this. Yeah, say hello to them.
Hi all. Let me get this mic somewhere. Can you hear me all right, Scott, I assume? All good. Cool. So I'll start with a couple of questions for Heather. First, so how can we store multiple projects in an Umbraco Cloud solution in one repository?
Multiple projects in a single solution?
Yeah.
So I don't totally understand. It sounds like they are talking about having multiple websites in one repository. If you're talking about multiple websites, Cloud isn't designed for that, and deploy isn't either. It's a single Git repository. If the question is, can we have multiple projects in just a Visual Studio solution, that is completely supported. In the latest versions, of course, of Umbraco 9 and forward, all of your solution is getting put together into the Git repository on Cloud and being compiled on the server. So it's a little different from the way that it was structured in version 8 and previous. So that being the case, in 8 and previous versions, you would actually need to have two Git repositories, one that is being served out of the cloud, and the other which is wherever, on Bitbucket or GitHub, wherever you keep your source code. So hopefully that answered the question.
I think it did, definitely. And then we've got another question of, can you mix self-hosted environments and cloud environments, such as having a test environment self-hosted and a production and staging environment on the cloud?
I mean, I guess if you could treat whatever server you have as a local environment. I don't think you could chain those together into your deployment process, but you never know, so reach out to cloud support on that one.
And then there's a question about, what about rollback options? Can we do a rollback of the deployed UI features?
So if you're talking about like the schema and code stuff that's being deployed through Git, you don't have a clean sort of rollback. You would have to just use whatever your Git rollback features are. But if you did, for instance, change something back to a previous version, because those schema files are UDAs, you can actually redeploy, for instance, the old version of those files, and it will then update your database to match those files.
And then the last one we've got for yourself is, how does Umbraco Deploy stack up at feature level against the paid version of Usync? So Usync Complete versus Deploy, because they're looking at it from an agency point of view.
Compare? I actually don't use Usync a lot, so I would not be the best person to compare it to. But I definitely don't think you would need both in your solution.
Yeah, I don't think Usync works on cloud because Deploy is there. I'm right.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know if Scott's still with us or not. Anybody? No? I think we do. Yes. Yeah.
I'm still here.
Hi, Scott. So I've got one question for yourself. When using tunneling, is there a chance that your domain might conflict with someone else's? How are they kept unique if it's a public domain?
Yeah, so the tooling will give you you can't just make up your own domain. So that having you have the ability to use your own domains for the tunneling will be something that might be a premium feature in the future. But the tunneling will basically it'll generate a URI for you that will be unique. So you don't have to worry about conflicts and stuff like that.
Perfect, thank you. And then I think that's all the questions I have here, unless anyone else out there has any. I don't think we've got a mic anyway. Yeah, thank you for your time, Scott. I assume it's done now.
Great.
I assume it's done, but